Hello, my name is Mark and welcome to I Am Organic Gardening on this beautiful, gorgeous day. Today is April 18th and it's a Sunday, and today I want to go over how to terminate our winter rye cover crop that has been helping us grow soil. Now, this cover crop was planted last fall. It's about 4 to 5 months old already, and now we want to terminate it so we can plant our annual vegetables into this within another, say, 30 days. My frost date here in zone 6B doesn't end until probably the mid to end of May. Seems to be later than usual, but we want to try to terminate our cover crop at least 30 days prior to planting. Can you terminate it the same day or within a couple of days of planting? Sure you can. Now, the only reason I do this is because to terminate it 30 days earlier is that I know that I have reduced that cover crop, I terminated it, and I don't have to worry about it coming up inside my other plants or inside my seeds especially. Now, if it comes up in places like the little rows in between, that's not a problem. It's not going to hurt anything. You're actually still growing soil, and you can see that this beautiful cover crop of winter rye has done so well and has really blossomed in the last, say, 2 to 3 weeks to really get those roots deep down into this raised bed to help it along in the future. So let's get into it, and I'll show you how amazing this cover crop is in future videos and how deep the roots went. But for today, I want to show you how to terminate that cover crop. So there's a couple ways of tackling this, but the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that it's dry. It's just like wet grass. It's difficult to cut it when it's wet. So we should make sure that this is dry. What I have here is a little battery operated rechargeable trimmer, and we can just go through and just cut it down. So what you want to do is remove as much as you can, as close to the ground of this winter rye. We want to cut it, and we want to save this nice green material that we have. So we're going to go through this whole bed here. I'm only going to do half because the other half I want to do another experiment on it, which is in another video. So we're going to cut this all down. Now, there's other ways of cutting this, of course, and hopefully you can hear me still. Now, this all depends on the size of your bed, how much winter rye you have, and etc. But no matter what, we want to cut it down. Now, there's another way of cutting it down, which is this. Now, what we have here is our cordless string trimmer. This is rechargeable also too, this is battery operated. Now, a lot of people, now it's either called a weed whacker or a string trimmer. Now, what you see here is a nylon line here that's going to go through, and a lot of people are very concerned about this nylon line going in their garden. One, you can see it because it's orange, but the small amount that might be left there from being reduced down is not a problem to you in your garden. I know I'm an organic gardener, but it's not a problem at all. Actually, there's been much studies out there that you can take this trimmer and anything non-organic, and actually the soil will heal it. That's another video. So we're just going to go through and cut this down. We have everything cut down, and we want to remove this green material that we cut down and set it aside. Now we can push it off to the side here. So I want to clean up an area like so that I can plant into. Now, just leaving this like it is right now, this winter rye will grow back. It is not terminated by any means. You have to cut it down below the soil like so. Now, what you want to do is remove it so you see no green anymore. No green stems like so here in our soil. This all has to be removed. It has to just be that soil surface. Now, when it's wet, you can actually just kind of twist and pull it out if you have a small bed. But to do something easier, and you can terminate it all, because again, you have to remove anything that you see green so it won't grow back. So there's another easier way to do it, and let me show you. Now what you can do with that weed whacker, now you can see that surface. You can go back with your weed whacker and just go down to that soil surface here about 1/4 inch deep and knock off all these, like it says, these beautiful little roots, shoots up on top here. You're not pulling the roots out. You can see here that I just kind of twisted off the surface. All those other roots are still in the ground that has grown from this winter rye. Again, we want to be able to, sorry about the camera work here, I'm working a little bit backwards. You want to be able to take this piece here like so and remove this top section like that, and this is what you're left with. This has to be gone. This whole total shoot has to be gone so for not to grow. Now again, you can take your weed whacker and just skim the surface again until you hit that top of the soil. Now a lot of people say, Mark, you're disturbing the soil. I have a no-dig garden or anything else too. Nature compensates for this. Why is that? Because think of this, when here in the United States, let's say before cattle came over and those too, we had plenty of buffalo, and they're not really called buffalo, they're called bison. Now, and that's like, we always call it a buffalo theory because everybody called it buffalo, cowboy movies, the whole thing, but it's really bison. Now imagine that massive animal weighing almost 2,000 pounds at a time, stepping on soil and pushing it down. The soil can regenerate itself and come back up again. So that's top, let's say, inch or two, you don't want to till it. It does get compressed, but you can have that soil heal itself if you have all the microbes, which you do here by growing your cover crop, to repair itself. Now the other thing you can do is nice and easy, is you can just go down, let's say 1/2 inch like so, and just go across the top like this with a flat shovel and just kind of move it along like so until you get all that top surface off like this. Now it does a pretty good job. You might have to pull a little bit like so, but now you're also loosening this up that you can plant your plants into, and also you can plant your seeds into. So that's another good way. I know it takes a little time and effort, but it all is good because what it does, it's allowing that soil to live. And you can see here how beautiful that leaf mold is turned into already. Some nice soil, and also adding things. Our coffee grounds are in here too, and you can go right down the line. Now the other thing is where is it? Let me go grab it. Is this nice beautiful tool here. Now they also make this is just a regular hoe. Now what's nice about this, they do make a shorter one. The Japanese do, with just a handle on it. And what you can do is just come along like so in those spots and just make a nice pathway and removing all that cover crop. And you can see how easy it is because it's a nice sharp thing. The whole keyness is to make this sharp, and you can go right down the line like so. Now none of this is wasted. This can go into your compost pile, you can go into your worm bin, anything that you wish to. Now you have this beautiful area that you can plant into. Now if you like to, you can add some more worm castings on top, you can add some compost, whatever you have available to raise your bed back up again. Now it's not a problem because you have plenty of drainage and plenty of area here that is going to be covered with your beautiful vegetables. Now I'm showing you this beautiful cover crop that I have in my garden. Now I lightly put the cover crop seeds of winter rye on top of soil, so we just have like little spikes. And underneath here we have some chickweed growing, which is another beautiful asset to my garden here, is that it's a natural herb that actually will grow mycorrhizal fungi also and act as a cover crop. So I've been experimenting with both here. Now you can see that the winter rye is taller than what we had in the bed. So why is that? Because I planted the seeds earlier. That's the only difference here. In my garden I can also do the same thing and use a weed whacker. And get down right to that soil level you can see here. As you can see here, I got right down to that surface of that soil very quickly. I'm not really hurting anything by any means, and it will not grow back. But I cannot leave any of that green area over here to the side, like so. I have to go back through that and then just hit that very so gently with the string trimmer or weed whacker. If you have this magnificent plant in your garden right now, if you do not have to get rid of it prior to planting your seeds in the ground or transplants, let it bloom for a while. This nice thing here is called purple dead nettle, and the bumblebees and bees love it. So try to leave it in your garden as long as possible. It's just like a marigold plant that you might use for companion planting. Now, it's just an amazing thing to leave in there, and will actually, if you don't have to do anything to it, it will actually die off naturally on itself, and it is actually helping you grow soil. So leave it behind, enjoy it, and watch all the bumblebees and honeybees come in and just feed on it. I want to thank you so very much for watching today's video. If you have any concerns about this procedure or questions or anything else, please leave them in the comments below and I'll get right back to you. Now, I just want to show you a couple of things that are going on. Our fruit trees are blooming, our daffodils and tulips are blooming, and I'll give that a shot in a second with the camera and you can see how beautiful they are. But again, enjoy and thank you for watching the video.